Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Attitude News, the podcast. This is Josh St. Laurent. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot of things not about the actual game himself. We have a position change from a star player, and obviously that's a big thing. We're going to talk about why I'm a little concerned about that move in general, what that means for that certain player, and I think everybody knows who that player is. That would be C.J. Abrams, who was told by Blake Butera that he will be moved from shortstop, which was his primary position, pretty much his whole life. And now he'll be moving to second. He'll be gradually moving over. So he'll still play some shortstop here and there, but they're gonna go with Nasim Nunez for the foreseeable couple of weeks. We'll see what they do with Seaver King and all that kind of thing. I will talk about that. We'll talk about the new series coming up against the Texas Rangers. That would be in Arlington. Obviously, these games are starting to not matter, as we go on because, they're playing less and less better, starting to move out of the wild card. We're starting to be like we were the past couple seasons, with, just playing non-competitive ball late August, early September. So let's just get the Texas series out of the way. Obviously, Jackson Kent will get another shot at it tonight at 8:05. I was okay with his last start against the Cubs. He was pitching pretty good. I'll be honest with you. Then he got into some trouble, and it is what it is. I think location. I think I did a little Instagram story post about all that. The location was definitely an issue, falling behind a lot of hitters, and obviously the Cubs lineup that's what they do best. That's literally their whole shtick. Make you work, make you throw 6 pitches, 7 pitches in at bat. Jackson Kent walked a lot of guys. I don't think he gave up a hit for a little bit. He struck out a lot of guys, but I'm excited to see what he does. Obviously, the Cubs, having your first start against the Cubs is a tough ask. They will be facing Cal Quantrill. They have not released the official lineups tonight. I'll be anxious to see where Abrams falls tonight, where he plays. Excuse me. I will be anxious to see where he plays if this is his first game at second, or they just kind of keep him going at short, until they find the right game to put him at second. So that's all. We're not really going to talk about the games just because, they're starting to, like I said, mean less as every game goes by. That Atlanta, that Blue Jays series really turned the tide of the season. Then it was Atlanta Philly, great. And I actually want to apologize. I know I posted this. I wrote an article right after the finale against the Reds. Is the bullpen back? Is what I said. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong on that. I was absolutely wrong on that. I actually apologize for jinxing everything. They lost, the first 2 games in Chicago. It only took a Kike Cavalli, 1 hitter, almost no hitter, to not get swept. And then then this is probably the lowest point of the year, with the sweep of the New York Mets, or the Nets get swept by the New York Mets. The 2026 New York Mets, I should just keep saying. That happened, guys. And the bullpen absolutely crashed. Giovanni Cruz in the last game blows a save, and that's how that happens. Offense fell flat. Game 1, lose 5-4. Game 2. All night. I was actually at the Red Sox game last night. Couple friends. Saw an 11-1 blowout. Red Sox are hot. Nothing you can say much about them. They're going crazy. Diamondbacks. Actually, one little I can tie the Nats in. Zach Littell pitched last night for the Diamondbacks out of the bullpen. Obviously, they were getting blown out at that point. A lot of it is because of him, but they just kept him in. Former Nat Ildemar Vargas came out and threw the 9th inning just because it was 11-1 and why waste pitchers. So a lot of Nationals ties to the Diamondbacks. Obviously, we know about Ildemaro. Diamondbacks just picking up Zach Littell about a couple weeks ago, if I remember, because once we DFA'd him, Miles Michaelis was DFA'd, obviously. That was the Jackson Kent. What am I trying to say? I don't know. Jackson Kent got brought up for Miles Michaelis. Sorry about that. And then the Texas series, we had Texas, Miami, Colorado. Now it's our turn once again to start playing spoilers. Hey, who knows? A good series against Miami really screws them up. We have 2 series against Miami here in this month. We have 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and the 28th, 29th, and 30th, and 31st. Then we had games against the Padres, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Phillies, St. Louis, Detroit, and the Mets. All those teams still fighting. Not the Mets, not the Angels, but guys like Detroit, Philly, Atlanta, San Diego, St. Louis. They are still all trying to compete for a wild card spot. Hey, let's do what we did for the Mets last year. One of the last series of the year. I believe we won the series against them, so that was huge for us to keep them out of the playoffs. Because why not, right? All right, let's get to the whole meat of what I'm trying to of this whole thing is C.J. Abrams getting moved to second base and having Asim Nunez or whoever we bring up pretty soon going to shortstop. So I'm not worried about this from the perspective of on-field stuff. I think it's actually a pretty solid move. Obviously, C.J. Abrams is a very, very, very below average defender. Actually, I believe he leads all shortstops in errors, which is not what you want. Obviously, because shortstops are supposed to be your captain of the infield. They're supposed to be like the Bobby Witts or like the Xander Bogaerts or all these guys. They're supposed to be your captains, your leader of the infield. It's what center field does for the outfield, except it's in the infield, and it's just a huge position that you need to be able to fulfill at a high level. On the offensive side of the ball, I would argue C.J. Abrams is the best offensive shortstop in the league, and I think this numbers prove that. Problem is on the defensive side, it's just not working out, man. It's unfortunately not working out. That's one thing about CJ's game that he will tell you that he needs to be better, and I think he knows that he needs to be better. And I think so. From a gameplay perspective, this is a good move for the Nats. However, what I'm more concerned about is the off-the-field morale and the position that C.J. Abrams is in with the Nats. Look, I wouldn't blame C.J. Abrams if he was pretty pissed off about this whole thing. I think he's been playing shortstop since he was a little kid. It was the only position that he's ever played. So I wouldn't be mad if I was him that we're in mid to late August now and he's getting moved just to second base. So let's just break this down here. So I would have rathered Paul Taboni and Blake Butera have this conversation with CJ in the offseason so it doesn't get as much like publicity as it's getting now, because this seems like it's kind of like it's a big deal right now. If they had a chance to talk with him in the offseason and maybe they go okay, obviously CJ, your numbers at shortstop aren't what we want them to be. So we're gonna talk about moving you over to second. We're gonna have you practice a little bit. We're gonna have you kind of do some drills in spring training and on the off season get you ready for second base. But they mid-August, out of nowhere it seemed like, told him to move to second base. I don't know what that shows. There's a good article on The Athletic from Spencer Newsbaum. C.J. Abrams not thrilled with the change, agent says, but focus remains on the Nationals. Of course, he's not going to talk bad about the Nats mid-season. He's going to try and finish out this year on a high note. With the fans, the front office, all this stuff. So in a quote from CJ's agent, I think, first, CJ was not thrilled about the decision to move him off to shortstop at this time. Abrams' agent Mike Sanders of Rock Nation Sports told The Athletic, but his priority is to win games for the Nationals and to be a team-first player, so that is what he's going to do. He's always viewed himself as a shortstop. short term and long term, and would love to have that offseason under this front office to be able to work on that. I believe CJ can be a very good shortstop, and without having an offseason to specifically train at the position using the information and feedback the staff has given him, I don't think we have a full evaluation yet of how good he can truly be. And I actually agree with that. With that statement, that was from his manager or from his agent. Obviously, CJ Abrams is a franchise player. There's no doubt about it. He is somebody that I have said this plenty of times. If we lose CJ Abrams, that would hurt me more than losing Juan Soto. That might be a tough thing for people to say. When Juan Soto got traded in 2022 to the Padres, Forrest Abrams, Wood, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel, Susanna, all these people. The Nationals were absolutely terrible. The 2022 season is still the worst season I have ever witnessed as a Nationals fan. That was dreadful. So you knew it was coming. Obviously, it sucked to see him go. Obviously, he probably still is a top 3 favorite player that I've ever watched in my life. From when he came up in 2018 to the last game he ever played in 2022 for the Nats, he was the man for me. And if you see that Max Scherzer thing right there, that's what he did right there. That's what he raised. He raised a trophy for the Nationals. So, yeah, this could come out a statement. You know, this is a pretty hot take, but now we are on the rise with C.J. Abrams. He is the man of the clubhouse, the team. He is the face. James Wood, you could argue, is as well. I view C.J. Abrams as the face. He came up before James. He played a little bit in that dreadful 2022 year. I remember at the very end. He's been through the absolute dirt with this team. He was here in 2023 when we still kind of sucked a little bit. Wood came up in 2024. So C.J. Abrams is the franchise player. He is my favorite player right now, and he's been my favorite player since 2022 when Soto left. I had to find a new player because we didn't really have any good players. I mean, Joey Meneses a little bit. I mean, that's sad. But, I mean, this would suck. Hopefully this doesn't ruffle feathers with him. It obviously probably does ruffle feathers with C.J. Abrams. I would be pissed if I was told mid-season, now that we're not in the pennant or the wild card race anymore, if I was told, yeah, we're going to change your position, I'd be pretty pissed. So, we will see. Taboni praised Abrams' willingness to roll with the change while also acknowledging the strong feelings in the aftermath of what he termed to be a difficult conversation. Yeah, and it's going to be a difficult conversation. You know, I mean, again, he's your franchise. He's your franchise player. And what this kind of tells me is that, like, okay, it's either two things. One, it lowers his value for an extension, which who knows, the extension talks are gonna be an interesting one. Right now with this probably really lowered the chances of getting an extension. Or this increases, or this helps the Nats with trade value, and it kind of boosts it up a little bit because he will be having better defense guaranteed at second base. I'm just looking for other quotes here. He also ranks last at MLB in several defensive metrics and has also graded poorly in recent seasons despite his athleticism, which led to the team's decision to move him to second base, a less demanding position. So, again, from an on-the-field perspective, this is a good move for the Nats. This actually helps the Nats a lot. They put Nasim Nunez at shortstop, who is the opposite of C.J. Abrams. I think one of the lowest OPS for qualified hitters is Nasim Nunez, but he's one of the best defensive players that the Nats have. I would argue the best defensive player that the Nationals have, maybe other than Jacob Young in center field. So you never know. But now I want to get into this conversation of okay. Obviously, Nasim Nunez is not going to be part of this future. I hope not. Look, Nasim, I love you, brother, but I there are better options, and we definitely do have better options. We have two very, very, very good options down in AAA, and I believe, where's Eli Willis now? Is he in AA now? Where is Seaver King? And I know September 1st is the big day for the expansion of the rosters from 26 to 28. So hopefully the Nats use that, because Seaver King is mashing in AAA right now. It was a pretty quick call up from double to AAA. He was mashing on AA. What did I just say? Double to AAA. Yep. So I hope that they bring him up. Hopefully before then too. I don't know if I can do too many Nasim Nunez shortstop. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's an interesting conversation to have. What does this mean for CJ Abrams? And nobody really knows. Do they shop him this offseason and trade him this offseason? Who knows? Will it be the next offseason? I believe that's when his contract is up, or is it the year after that? I have no idea. Well, I think it is next season, after next season, if there is a season, and that's a whole other thing that I keep saying I'm going to talk about. And like I said, I'll talk about that whole thing when we get to it. Hopefully we don't get to that part of the MLB cycle. Hopefully there's no lockout. There probably is going to be, but we'll see. So that's the big question. Nobody really knows what the Nats are going to do with CJ Abrams, but for now we know that they are going to put him at second. Like I said, does it ruffle some feathers? Yeah, I bet it does. But like the article said, he's still focused on helping the Nats as much as he can, and what I hope the Nats do is help him as much as they can, because he can't keep doing this for too long. Not a lot of players can hold on this long, man. We're not in the 2000s anymore, or the 80s or the 90s with the loyalty. People want to win, right? We're not in the Tony Gwynn, Don Mattingly. We're not in that era anymore where people just stay with one team their whole career, win or lose. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Loyalty's awesome. Those are two franchise players, Hall of Fame. Well, Mattingly should be in the Hall of Fame, but it's people want to win now, and I get it. People want to win now. They don't want to win, and they don't want to wait 5-6 years to win. They want to win this very moment. And again, I don't blame that. I don't blame players for wanting to do that. So for CJ to be here now, and now CJ isn't in that rookie stage anymore, where he's that exciting rookie who really doesn't have a say in where he wants to go. Now he has that power that he's a 2-time All-Star. He started at shortstop for the National League in the All-Star game this year. He has that power to start saying, okay, I want to win, and I want to win now. So, and obviously the Nats can't do that for him. So, hopefully the Nats make moves in the offseason, show him that they want to win for him, along with James Wood. Obviously can't forget about him, but we will see. Overall, I like this move on the field. Off the field, I'm kind of questioning the timing of it. I'm questioning, what the relationship between the two teams are, or the two, the player and the team. Who knows? I don't know. We don't know. But the article says that they are trying to just play baseball, help the Nats win, and that's all you can really ask for with a player like this. The Nats play Texas tonight. We will see. Jackson Kent gets another start. I will be watching as per usual, like I do every game. We will see. Everybody, thank you for watching. Go Nats as usual, man. Have a good day.